Hello and welcome back to another episode of This Is Not Forced Inclusion. Thank you for being here, Alfredo.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm glad to share with the rest of the community our learnings, understandings about the things we have learned in this semester.
Me too. We are very excited today because we are making a podcast from scratch about inclusion. Isn't it exciting?
Yes, of course. We already had a couple of classes about inclusive education. We had a complete course about it, and I want to start with the main question. I think about these following chapters. That is, for us that we have been learning about inclusion. What means inclusive education, according we have learned in the subject with the same name?
Okay, it is a very good question, Alfredo, because inclusion is a really hard and keep deep provoking term, a concept, due to it is about politics, social culture, and ethics, etc. So it is very big, it is huge, it is a huge concept
Yes.
as humanity is. Well, anyway, according to the Gabinete de Igualdad para todas las personas 2002, inclusion or inclusion educative in education, it is about a construction, a build of a social and scholar environment where all the kids, teenagers, even of as adults can join into a class and take advantage of everything that is in our hands. Talking about the humans, resources, or material resources, because it is also related with the the barriers of learning. So,
course.
inclusive education is something has that has to attack these barriers, Alfredo.
Of course, and how it's supposed to attack those barriers? What are the statements that promote
Yes.
that inclusive education?
Well, inclusive education is not a topic of today. It is. It has been um, being doing for a long time since UNESCO and about the Human Rights Declaration. It starts with diversity, the by joining every single human in the parties, in the education, in the democratic processes. So, how can what was your question? Excuse me.
What was the uh, statements that support that inclusive education?
Got it. Now in 2022, with our new brand syllabus, Nueva Escuela Mexicana, we can say that education has the obligation of include every single child, teenager, every single human, even though their religion, color of skin, hate, etc. So it is not a matter because our education um, has to be how do you say,
Social justice?
yes, the social justice, of course. The Nueva Escuela Mexicana is searching the social justice by a decolonial
Okay.
perspective. So it is a very good point.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, but when were in first semester, we used to read a lot the 2017 syllabus, Aprendizajes Clave.
Indeed.
And at the first pages, they said it was an inclusive curriculum because they promote not just in the classroom, it was further than that. We were talking about society to create, to build a inclusive society based on social
On a social base.
social how you say, social justice, and well, the program wanted to build a fairer society. So when you say now 2022 with the Nueva Escuela Mexicana, um, that perspective has not changed at all, but was more focused on the classroom because they said in the eje articulador,
Yes.
inclusión, that every child must be included in the classroom. How do you say? It doesn't matter the religion, gender, social class, origin. It doesn't matter. Every single child must be in the classroom, and if it is not, so the children must know that it is not an inclusive environment.
Got
Yeah.
it. Yes, of course, Alfredo. And you mentioned something in the class, but inclusion does not stop between the fourth walls of the
Yes.
classroom. Inclusion has to be more than that. You said further, to the streets, to our neighborhood. In a nutshell, inclusion has to be in every single city,
course.
in the aisles, etc. So how can how can we be more inclusive? Here we have a question of
Porter.
our partner Yareli. So let's hear her, please.
Hi, my name is Yareli and I'm from Santa Catarina. How can I be more inclusive in my classroom? I'm currently teaching fifth grade. Bye!
Goodbye, Yareli. Thank you for your question. So,
Well,
Alfredo?
if we remember, we made a article in a book published by the Normal that was named "The Future Teacher's Role in Attention to Diversity," and we touched that time that topic. We compare some ideas from different authors. One of those was Segner, that said that teachers have a perspective of diversity as a problem, and they see their students by a very individualistic way. So that perspective could be a barrier from teachers for being inclusive in their classrooms. So the first step, I think, to avoid to be more inclusive is to change that perspective, to change our minds. And after that, I don't know if you remember the Tomlinson
Yeah.
ideas about differentiated classroom.
Tomlinson 2001.
Of course. And it's uh,
A declaration of 17.
yeah, 17
Skills.
skills. Yeah, good teaching skills. And they talk us about the differentiated instructions classrooms. That means that as teachers, we should offer to our students different ways to achieve the goals we propose them, different avenues to achieve their learning, the expected learnings. And well, commonly it is the teachers used to think that when we talk about different instructions, we are like, okay, I have a children with this disability in this situation, and I'm gonna give him a different work to do, and it is not differentiated instruction classrooms. Yeah, it is a poor view about it. So when we talk about differentiated instruction classrooms, we must see it like giving new opportunities for learning.
Yes. Do you remember the universal design?
Yeah, the universal design of learning, I guess.
Yes, we studied it
During the semester.
yes, during
And
inclusive education subject. This universal design.
it is pretty related, I think.
Yes. And we have another question, Alfredo, and it is from another viewer, and here it is.
Hello, Mario and Alfredo. I have a question for you. Is the Escuela Normal an inclusive institution? I'm so sorry for the background noise, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Oh, not a problem, Carol, about the noise. Is it, Alfredo?
Let's just see the numbers or results of that inquiry.
Yes, it was 50%, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. We had two relevant results. In one of the questions of the survey we implemented, a 56% of the students perceive themselves as a part of the teachers training school community. So a 44% are not self don't self perceive them as part of the community. They are not feeling included on the Escuela Normal. That it is not the majority, it's not a big part of the total of students,
Yes.
but it is a important number. Yeah, and another important topic is the relation of students and teachers, because more than 50% of students interviewed said that the teachers don't care about the learning through the semester.
Okay.
That it is a considerable part of the population we studied, because, well, in our book we said when teachers don't care about the specific necessities of each student, don't implement a differentiated classroom, also in here in the Normal, the expectations from the groups are not positive about the relations they have with them.
Okay. It is a very hard information in the statements, Alfredo. And of course, we have our references here. If you want to read that book, what's the name of the book?
Reflexiones about, well, Reflexiones de la Práctica Docente,
Okay,
a book published by the Escuela Normal the last year.
2022. And
Okay. And the article is named The Future Teacher's Role in Attention to Diversity.
yes, if you want to keep in touch with that information, you have the opportunity to read that book and article. So for this time, we have to say goodbye. So thank you very much for listening to us, and
This is not forced inclusion.
bye-bye.